Danielle Parsons is one of our newest moderators. She's working with John and Christy Oakey out of Omaha. But Danielle, you've put in about, I think your team with Amy over in St. Louis, hundreds of people since you've been here. Maybe five, 600 people. Is that somewhere in the neighborhood?
Yeah.
And so you come here with a little bit of experience. Will you tell everybody just a little bit how you ended up here and like what your goals are?
Yeah, so I started with another networking company a couple of years ago, and then one of my Sideline's sisters at the other company joined you guys a year before me. And I had just watched her, and she was posting, and I had inquired with her a couple times. She was never pushy. And then once I inquired more information from her, I was really intrigued just with the way the company is set up, the products. I was looking for something healthier for myself. So it kind of just aligned with me. I started talking to other people, and it just really took off from there.
And you and your husband Michael do it together, but he is disabled, so you work a full-time job and you do this. Tell us how you fit this into your schedule.
Yeah, so my husband became disabled, Ben, he came disabled a couple of years ago, and that's when this network marketing landed in my lap because it gave us some freedom to be able to do something from home at the same time. So we partner up together, and he was like me, just a workaholic. We both have really strong work ethics and just love to help people. And that's really our calling in life, right? And so this is just really aligned with us when it came across us. We didn't believe it. We thought it was a scam, just like probably most of you. And my husband's like, no, look more into it. And when we did, we saw the big picture, the big vision of what this could truly do for us. And my husband was an extremely successful manager for 20 plus years at a company that he was with. So it was a huge change to him, but we had to find something to replace his income because he was the breadwinner in our household. So it was something that, we were scared, but we prayed on it. And this is what has landed in our lap, and this is what has changed our life.
But he has a role here too. I know that he does a lot of the
Yeah.
technical stuff behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, he's really, really big. He does so much work behind the scenes. I was busy with work last week, and I was telling John and Chrissy how many cells and how many people we signed up. And he goes, maybe you need to be traveling more with your other job because my husband is a dominator. He's a silent dominator in the background, but he's packaging orders. He's doing follow-up. He's signing people up. I'll be in a meeting. He'll come up and he's like, I just sold a 4-pack. I'm like, keep it going. So we just run together. We're like the two dynamos together for sure.
Yeah, and Michael ran the FaceTime Live at the meeting last night. That's on Level Up Life, which is the last thing I'll ask you is you got a chiropractor, Dr. Mike, involved, and he spoke on the drops last night. I encourage everybody to go watch his 4-minute speech. It'll be the first thing up. But I thought it was spectacular. But will you tell us how you put that meeting together and were you nervous and how would y'all invite? Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. So I recruited Dr. Mike and then also my good friend who's an esthetician here in town. And we just basically got together, put together our minds and just realized, our town doesn't know anything about the drops. There might be some who say they have heard about them. And so we're like, this is a perfect time for us to really explode. So I printed off like 250 flyers. I handed them out to them at their offices. And then we just started going loud, like at gyms, at different small businesses, and really just getting as loud as we possibly can and letting them know. I just use the example like 1 out of 10 is always your scenario, right? So that really opened up their minds that they had to be really loud as well. So which really helped our results to getting people to come and join us last night.
I did have one last question for you because there's always a lot of brand new people on this IPA call. But will you talk to us about when you first joined and learned about the skinny drop system we have of selling online? Did you believe you could? And then tell us what you were able to do with those drops and how quickly.
Yeah, so with the system of growth, I think it's really amazing because normally whenever you join a company, you pay a lot of money, right, to start your own business. Here, it's already made for you, and you already have a system that you can utilize and use with an easy copy and paste system. So I was really surprised by that because that gave me more time to be more successful in the business, but I also didn't have to pay all the upfront fees to have a business. It's already there for you. It's already put together for you. So it was kind of just like like it was stupid to not do it and to not be in this business. I already have 2 weeks of my content that's already posted and ready for this week, something I don't have to worry about. So now I'm going to be focusing on the business and what I'm going to do to be able to grow it and to bless those around me. And that's why I think this business is incredible. And telling that to people last night, they were really surprised. Like, that's all you got to do. And I'm like, that's all you got to do. It's so easy. It does it for you.
So we're going to bring Danielle back one day. She's hard to get on here because she does travel full time and a 60-hour work week in her real job. But when I was in St. Louis and listened to Danielle and Amy explain how they do their social media and all the extra things they do with reels and lives and how important all those things are, it was just spectacular. And I think Amy, who you signed up in St. Louis, I want to say she sold 383 boxes of drops in like her first 90 days.
Yeah, in just a couple months. Yeah, she's a domino. She's just a dynamite too, and she really has a clear mind. But her and I both were just really about keeping our Facebooks live and active and just have it as a rolling business, right? So if you stop using your Facebook page, it's just like your business is closed. So you always want your business to be open. So have those engaging posts up, things that are going to keep your business running and open, something that's going to make something interested. People don't want to always see product. So do something about yourself so they get to know you. So then they get to trust you. They want to buy you, but then also do things that are engaging, like where would you travel? If you could travel anywhere in the world, that's something everybody wants to talk about. Or do you like mountains or beaches? People are going to really talk about that kind of stuff. And then they get to really get to know you. And that's what makes them trust you, makes you busy.
Yeah,
Hey,
so I'll
Todd.
tell you, go ahead.
Just real fast, let me brag on these guys. So, Danielle, he's not our direct sponsor. That'd be Joyce Ryan, who's on our team, is your direct sponsor. Joyce is very busy too, still learning everything. So, so Danielle utilized third-party calls, right, with Christy and us to help her, especially in the early days. She was super busy with her job. She actually had some illnesses going on, but she was sending people to us to help her get going, right? So utilize a third party. The other thing is Danielle, again, I think joined in March. Amy was, I think, June. Both had qualified for Maui with their husbands. So get working. You can earn that trip to Maui. It just takes being consistent and working and going hard. So you can do it.
John, and we talked about that yesterday on our training, is that maybe your sponsors as new as you are and they're not really available, but there's always somebody up there that knows what they're doing. And your job is to find who that is in your business, in your upline, and go connect just like Danielle did with John and Christy. But congratulations, Danielle. Last night's
Thank
meeting
you
was
so much. I
spectacular.
couldn't do this without you guys. Thank you so much for all the support. I love the Okies, and thank you so much for coming, Todd. It was incredible. Thank you.
Yeah, and Sarah, maybe put Danielle and Amy's Facebook page in the chat. And what I do a lot of times is the ones that are selling 383 boxes in 90 days, I go study them. Like, what are they doing different than everybody else? And it's very obvious when you go to their site. They're doing a lot different than everybody else. Okay, next up, we got Brenda Carlton before Christy Walsh, one of our best moderators, comes on and moderates today. But last night was the first time I had ever heard Brenda speak in a live meeting. And it was so powerful. She talked about the ability to compress time. Her husband, who's there with her this morning, good to see you. Brenda's usually by herself. I know you're always in the background, but he was a school teacher like myself. And as school teachers, we're on a 30-year plan to retire at half a broke. And Brenda was a office manager, bookkeeper, and they completely changed the trajectory of their life because of the network marketing industry. So Brenda, I'm just going to turn it to you guys and let you guys tell your story. And if you don't mind, just share what you did last night, because it gave me chill bumps listening to you.
Okay. Well, thanks, Todd. And it was fun to be there. Danielle, you rocked the room, girl. Well, we've been in this industry for 23 years. I came in because I desperately needed products. And, we were on a plan. Larry was in a drop program to retire in 5 years. And so we wanted to retire debt free. But little did I know that this industry would open up that for us. And like I said, I got great results on the product. It literally changed my health, but it intrigued me to want to know more about products. And so as I began to learn about products, we began to get results and build a business. And so in just a few short years, this thing exploded on us. And I love this industry. It is an industry of compression. You can do in 2 years here what it would take the average American 20 plus years to do in corporate America. And we were the ones that did that. Larry was a teacher for 31 years, same high school, he's short of a dissertation having his PhD and never made more than $59,000 a year. And me, I was the office manager. I don't have a piece of paper. I was accounting. That was my background. And so $36,000 was the most I'd ever made working 27 years. And so we proved that you can change your life with this industry. Started out very part-time, and then, it took us to full-time income. And so in about 6 to 8 years, we made over $1 million in this industry. And I'm saying that because that's what's possible. We're nobody special. Anybody can do this. When you help enough people get what they want, yours is an automatic. And so, Todd, that's what drove me, helping people get results. My heart is coaching people. I love coaching people on nutrition and helping them get results. So I learned a lot in this industry from the doctors in our previous company. And so here we are again, after moving from Texas 3 years ago to Colorado Springs. Our daughter got started on some products. She desperately needed products. She was struggling with all the hormonal issues, sudden rapid weight gain, major brain fog, extreme confusion, goes to the doctor only to hear that her labs were normal and the doctor wanted to put her on birth control. Well, she turned 51 years old, so that was not an option for her. And so she reached out to her friend and prayer partner, Amy Rickman, who's a homeopathic educator here in the Springs, got started on the drops, and in 5 days, her life changed. And by the end of the 3rd week, she had lost a jean size. That'll make a girl happy. And so she asked me, Mom, would you go to this meeting with me? And it began. To support her, I was not looking for anything else to do. We really live a really good life. Our family, our kids and grandkids are our life. And so I had enrolled in a Bible college because I found out that Charis Bible College was right in my backyard. So that was where I was headed. I had laid down, all the coaching, all this industry, because I was headed to Bible college. And I went to a meeting. And I walked in Julie Park's house, and 77 people walked in at 2:30 on a Sunday afternoon. Todd, all I could think about what was the message that brought all these people out that day.
So Brenda, the power of a home party or launch party or drop talk, whatever we want to call it, you got invited. I think Dr. Crystal was in town that day speaking in her living room, but you just never know who's going to walk in the door if you just open your door and do a little drop talk.
That's exactly That's right. And, I sat there thinking, oh my goodness, what is this stuff? So I pulled Tammy aside that day. I did not know Tammy. I did not know Julie. I did not know anybody else in the room except my daughter, and I had met Amy one time. And I needed some answers. And I needed to know who's at the helm of this company. What is the integrity of this company? I'd been in this industry a long time. I needed to know how long had this company been around, and what hadn't I heard about? This was my industry. I'd never heard of anything as powerful as these drops. And I knew tons of people that I needed to share this with.
So last question, what would you and Larry tell the person or the couple out there that's just beginning their journey? They're nervous. Maybe they haven't had success yet. Like, how do you get through the start? Because it is the start that stops most people in our industry.
There he is. That's a great question, Todd. Well, I would say, number one, what do you want? And then, do you know why you want that? And then the next thing I would introduce them to is this amazing system of growth that is unlike any other. No other company has what we have here. And it's golden. It is such a gift. But I would ask them to be teachable and coachable and give it 2 years. Give it 2 years and see what's going to happen.
Well, thank you, Brenda. I put you on the spot last night, you and Danielle both, for this morning. Y'all are just amazing. But your speech last night was spectacular. Larry, you and Brenda, y'all are such a light in the world. And your daughter last night, I do have one last question, because you're 70, you look 50. Your daughter is 51. I thought she was 25. And I said something really stupid. I said, y'all have unbelievable genetics. And you very quickly corrected me that no, it's environmental, because y'all make right choices on how you eat. Will you share that a bit, how we can affect our genetics on our choices?
Absolutely, Todd. Our health is the most important thing that we have. We only have one body, and this is not a dress rehearsal. It is important that you put in it. You are what you eat, and I believe in supplements. I've said many times I'm a supplement junkie. Larry hates for me to say that, but I love supplements because we cannot get what we need in our food today. It is biochemically impossible to eat all that we need. And so genetics are 30%, environment is 70%. And so that's why supplements are the golden key to our health.
Todd, I came on because I couldn't stand it. I've got to say something about Brenda and Larry. And I love the fact that you got a chance to be there with them in an in-home meeting, opportunity meeting last night. But one of the things I can tell you since they came on the scene at Partner Co. is you meet them and you know they're lifers. And what I mean by that is some people you're like what's the nugget here is the fact that when they decided to come to Partner Co, there was no retreat, right? And I've watched them grow, I've watched them plateau, I've watched them spike again. And what they do every day is they show up, right? And I just said that about Larry earlier today with his health. Every time I talk to Brenda early in the morning, she's like, "Yep, Larry's out on the walk. He's getting his walk in. Like he doesn't miss it. He's just committed. He's loyal, and he's dedicated." Right? What a great example. But at the end of the day, if I had to describe this couple since I've met them, when they first came on board, was I never question if they're going to be here in Partner Co forever. They're lifers. And that's why, I just had to come on and say that. It's the best compliment that I can give them is just they're just constants. And that's who we want to surround ourselves with in business. So thank you, Todd, for doing this. And Brenda and Carl, Brenda and Larry, thank you for your service.
Yeah, and just to echo that, we have never invited a moderator on here without vetting them over a long period of time. Like you have to prove to us you're going to stick around. Because we learned our lessons early on that a few of them early on didn't stick around. And Brenda, I just texted you one day and I said, "Who is this lady that shows up every morning all dressed up at 8 a.m. Mountain Time and speaks up and got great communication skills?" I said, "Can she be a moderator?" And you said, "Heck yeah, she might be the best one."
Thank
Absolutely.
You, Todd. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Brent. We are lifers. We will be here until Partner Co is no more. And I love the fact that we have two guys that have put a plan in place, and it has a 50-year plan. And Larry and I have both declared that we will live to be 120 years old. We'll be here. We'll be here helping you, helping others have long life. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, she said that with authority last night, Brent. She said, "I'm on the 50-year plan to 120.
Absolutely. She's got the authority down.
Okay. Thank you guys for showing up this morning.
Thank you.